Hi there, this is the Victats podcast. This is a podcast about tatting, not the skin and ink kind of tatting, but the needle, shuttle, and thread kind of tatting. My name is Vicki Clark, and I'm podcasting to you from my home in Smiths Falls, which is in the Ottawa Valley, Canada. And it is April 15th. Okay, so I had a really busy weekend, so I'm going to tell you about that. We're not really going to talk about any of the other crafts I do. I might complain a little bit about my knitting, but just because it's funny. I actually, on this weekend, I had I worked on Saturday morning. I had a tatting technique class, not tatting technique, oh my God, adjusting technique class on Saturday afternoon because I'm a chiropractor and we have to practice our craft. And there's a lot of diagnosis stuff, don't get me wrong, but we also have to practice actually adjusting because it's a skill set. My dog's a little verklempt. Anyways, so, and then on Sunday morning, bright and early, I got up and drove down to the Lodi Fire Hall, which is just outside of Seneca Falls, New York, for the Finger Lake Tatting Seminar. Because it's a weekend seminar, but I was able to get there on Sunday and I really wanted to go. And I didn't think I'd be able to go because I thought I'd have family down on Sunday. So it worked out really good. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It worked out really good. And so I got up bright and early and drove down through and made it for 9 o'clock. So I left the house at 5. I stopped. I got myself a coffee and a bagel belt from Tim Hortons. I stopped to get a Starbucks in Watertown, and then when I got on the I-90, which I have to now text, I have to figure out how to pay my I-90 bill. What was I going to say to you? When I stopped on the the one that's on the side of the highway on the I-90, and then ended up at Lodi. So it actually worked out really good, and the whole weekend just seemed to smooth into place. So it was really good. I was so excited to be there. And so worth it. Now you may question why I would drive 4 hours there and 4 hours back, for, which is 8 hours for an 8-hour event, but believe me, it was worth it. And it went really fast. Yeah, so I got there and I got my package. And this has the pattern. So when you go, you get a copy of all of the patterns, but I think I'm missing one, but I'm not sure. Who cares? It's fine. And I took 2 classes. I took one with, I got 2 Finger Lake packages things. That's why we were all confused. Okay, anyways, I took, when you get there, you get your package with the schedule and everything. And they also, because lots of people like to talk to each other and everything, they also include a list of the contact for all of the attendees if they're willing. So that's good. And some people just put their email addresses on. But what was I going to say to you? What I'm going to say to you is that, so you got your package, and there's always food out there. It's a fairly big fire hall. So it's done in the fire hall. We're all together. That's really a fun part of it. And a lot of what we do is talk to each other because, you get to be with other people who do the same craft as you do. So what was I going to say? I met up with Ginny and Dina outside, and because they were just happening to arrive at the same time. And let me just show you Okay, whew. Let me just show you. Ginny asked me if I wanted, she had a doily that she had made that had been framed and everything. So when she gave it to me after my house burnt down. So I was able to actually get it picked up. Oh, I just dumped that over. And this is it. Yay! So I was able to get that. And we got it into the car. And this thing's about 2 feet across. And it's beautifully matted. Now the thing is if you are framing tatting, then I've noticed that when you, that tatting looks best on a like a molted background. So like say when they do the quilts, like I remember I showed you the quilt I got from the Finger Lake Tatting Guild year before my house burnt down, and they do it on a batik and it looks gorgeous. And actually Carrie had done another lap quilt this year and it was absolutely gorgeous again. But the tatting always shows up really well. For some reason that really sets off the tatting. Looks gorgeous. I'm gonna put it up here on this wall right above there. So I'm super excited. The other thing, what else happened? Okay, and my first class was with Ruth Perry. And she actually had copies of her book on a sale. So I bought this because I lost it during the fire. I had one of her original versions. I can't remember if it was coil bound or not. But absolutely, totally so happy. And the project was a variation off of this, just to show some of the techniques and how you do it, how you make that beautiful wing around on these letters. I highly recommend her books. I love her books. This part. And of course, but because I'm so excited to be there, and I haven't seen any of these people in 6 years. 6 years. I was happy. So I apologized to Ruth and said, okay, I'm gonna be up and down. But she was okay with that because she stopped me before and she knows that I sit still. And that's the nice thing about, is just, I like the nice thing about the Finger Lakes is tatting seminars, we're all together. So you have that opportunity if you have a moment to, or if you need a break to get up, go get a snack, go do all these things. It's very easy to, intermingle. Now the thing I did was I had when I decided that I was going down, I make rolls to store my tatting in that I use with. I have a core roll that's from, I think I've shown it, that is from my clinic. It's a very thick hard paper roll, and I use the thicker craft felt. And yeah, I gotta go. Sorry, I'll be right back. Nisi, why are you barking? Sorry, that was poor judgment on my behalf. I started something cooking. But anyways, okay. You're all together. That's what I was saying. And so when I realized I was coming down, I had made a whole bunch of rolls to store what I use to put my finished tatting into, or you can do it as you're tatting too. Like you can put it in there if it's not too big. And so I made a whole bunch of those for, hopefully I got all the executive, because things in 6 years, lots of change. Things have changed. But, and I think I missed, I don't know. Anyways, so I made a bunch of those, and then I put together a little kit with some Canadian chocolates like Smarties and Aero, and little mini Aero snack size bars, with a little bobbin winder and some chapstick, just because hey, why not give everybody a gift? And it was fun because in craft stitch, when they go to these events, they take little tchotchkes, little mini things to exchange, to give as little gifts and table gifts and all that stuff. But I thought, which we don't necessarily do as tatters, but I thought it'd be really fun to just give everybody a little treat. And then there were some other people that I hadn't, I wanted to give, like the teachers a little bag of something. They all got little mini tomatoes and, chapstick and a couple other things. I can't even remember what's in it now. But so I had brought that because I just, And what else happened? Oh, and then at lunchtime, because I'm not really in the class, I'm wandering around talking. I was that obnoxious person doing that because I came late. I didn't. What happens? Okay, so let me just back up. What happens is it's perfectly fine just to come for part of the weekend. But what often happens is a lot of that chatting that I needed to have done, because I'm like super hyper to be there and everybody else is Sunday, so now they're in the kind of the third day and they're a little tired. That happens usually on Friday night. Okay, so what usually happens is for the people staying the weekend, we meet there on Friday night. Actually, a lot of the times we go to Carrie's shop, which is Carrie Sullivan's shop, which is just about another 20 minutes down the road. Hang out there for a while. Look at all her stuff, because she has like I don't think there's a craft she doesn't do. So she has all kinds of supplies, because she has a little store in her house. So she has all kinds of supplies. And she does hand-dyed yarns as well as hand-dyed threads. And so we, moon over that usually. And then we go up to the fire station to set up and all that stuff. And there's like a little kind of potluck thing that night, and a practice bookmark thing, or some kind of little craft. This year it was the bookmark designed by Doug. Helps if I have Doug's last name, but oh look, I do. Here it is. That's why they give you the list. Doug, what is your last name? It is. He's taught in the past a lot, so he did it's Doug Hill. So he did the Friday night craft, which is just one that we all do together, and it was a bookmark. And then on Saturday morning is when the real seminar the seminar starts. And I'm always there obnoxiously early when I'm there, because I don't want to miss any of the vending. But so this year, that's why I didn't want to arrive right at 9:30 when the classes started. I needed some time to get in there. So I left so that if I could be there around 9, plus or minus. So, and it worked out. I got there right around 9. It was perfect timing. Anyways, so at lunchtime, then I went and because everybody's lining up to eat, but that's not what I do. No, I went and I was pouring through, Carrie Sullivan does these beautiful hand-dyed threads, which I've talked about before. I know I've talked about this before. And, oops, went through and I matched them all up this morning. And so I'm pouring through the box, right? Because I like to use them from the Renelec doilies. They're actually my preference. It's been 6 years since I've been able to restock, and maybe I might have had a good decent stock, but let's keep in mind that I've also been cross stitching more and doing other stuff. So maybe that wouldn't have lasted me so long if I hadn't started cross stitching. Anyways, so I was going through that bin, but she has these wash basins and they're full of the hand-dyed threads. And the good news, I was a little worried that it'd all be picked over, but then I forgotten that she always she brings half the first day and half the second day kind of thing. So to make sure that she has lots, and everybody, because sometimes different people come on different days. Now, traditionally, more people come on Saturday and Sunday because some people go to church, right? And they have duties at church, and so they can't miss a weekend. And so I missed out on a lot of people, which is fine. But actually, it all turned out perfect. But I had just enough for everybody. But what was I going to say to you is, sorry. Hi, Danny. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for telling me that you watched this, because I feel much better. And I do feel this one I'm not making much sense on. So, I'm a little off. But anyways, so the big bin is there. And I'm like, okay, I'm not getting any 40s. I haven't been doing a lot of 40 lately. I did end up getting 40s, don't get me wrong, but not a lot. And then I got a whole shit ton of 20s. And my rationale in this is that one, the prices have gone up and the dollar exchange isn't great. So it is what it is. But I haven't bought any tatting thread for 6 years. And I had significant damage to my thread supply when my house burnt down. Fortunately, I store some of my thread at my cottage, so that's, it's okay. Anyway, so what I did was I was going through the pile trying to match them up, and I had like little piles all over the other craft supplies. So Carrie and Ginny's like, just take it over to the table. I'm like, no, Carrie's gonna get like, I'm taking her stuff. She's gonna be like, what are you doing? And Ginny's like, Carrie will be fine. So we went over to the one table because everybody's eating and nobody cares right now anyways. And then we went through and just looked for doubles, because what I like to have is when I do a run and lift doily, when the doilies, when you when you do the big monster doilies, when you get to the outside, you start using a lot of thread. And the thing for me is that for whatever reason, I find it more interesting to use the hand-dyed threads than the regular threads. And I don't get as like, I just enjoy the thread itself. So that itself is fun for me. So yeah, so the bigger the doily is, the more repetitive it is. So I got to have some fun some way. And so I bought 2 of all the colors. Now, I bought enough thread that I probably could have had one of every color that she had there, but no, I needed 2. So then I had to kind of pick and choose, which I didn't do very well because I bought a lot. But anyways, so they helped me find partners, so pairs. So almost everything is in pairs, with one exception is one set that I got. I actually already had the color, which is called Arctic Sky, but that'll work out because I'm gonna explain that in a couple minutes. And then the other one I got 4 of by I got 2 and 2 because after we'd gone through everything and I had this big pile of thread, and Ginny counted it for me. She had to count it for me because every time I started counting, then what she would do is interrupt me with other numbers, and I couldn't, I'm like, now you have to count it for me. But what was I gonna say to you is I did end up with 2 sets of 2, so of one colorway, and so it's 4 skeins. So I thought, well, that won't go amiss, because then what I'll do is I'll pull out, Carrie has a book of doilies, and I'll pull out a set and do and I'll do one of my big favorite doilies from her, which is I think called Honey Cruller. I think that's what it's called. Cruller, maybe, is from her one of her books that's just doilies, and I think there's only one of those. And so I think that's what I'll do with that. I don't know. It won't go amiss. Don't worry. And then I'll explain about the Arctic side in a second. But I got a whole bunch, and then I went back, and because there's just such gorgeous colors, I got some of the 40s too, because I'm in love with this agate. Gosh, that's gorgeous. And then there's, here it is. It's Ember, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. See, what other colors did I get? Ember. Sorry, these are the 40s. I'm too embarrassed to show. It will take an hour for me to show you all the 20s, but I'll do it. Just not right now. I don't know what color this one is. Look, wee. And yeah, the other thing I got to say to you is so worth it. So worth it. And I'm justifying this because, hey, this is way cheaper than cross stitch. That's all I'm saying to you people. That's my defense. Okay. The other thing, so I think I'll do a separate thing where I have like my little handheld camera and then go through and, or my handheld camera, my shorter tripod, so then I can go through and show you. But I also so Ginny Weathers has been doing a lot of sewing lately, and so she made these beautiful little bags. Aren't they gorgeous? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love, so this is actually a tatting pattern, like not pattern, but tatting. And then that they took from, like, I think when they did, the people who printed this, they must have taken it from an antique prints. And then there's this neat little zigzag, the bric rack with this contrasting colors, very beautiful. And this is actually apparently the Beauty and the Beast material, like it's Disney material. Now the funny thing about this is that I didn't pick it because it's Beauty and the Beast. I picked it because I love the colors on this, and then there's a beautiful yellow. So I got 2 of these, but I missed out a lot. Oh my god, I'm already at 21 minutes. See, so I missed out on a lot of the books. So I ended up at the very end, I was able to get one of Shauna Wax's. Oh my God, sorry, Shauna. Apparently I can't talk today either. One of her books, and this just came out. Now I thought this had been released in the summer at the Palmetto Tatting Guild. And she said, no. There was a sample there. And this is actually the first release. And it's beautifully done. And it's really just really fun single shuttle patterns. Most of them are single shuttle patterns. And just, not all of them though, but just really fun, and make these beautiful flowers like calla lily. The calla lily's gorgeous. That's fun. Let me see. I'm trying to get some pictures that don't have the patterns. The poinsettia is gorgeous. Poinsettia. There's the leafy earrings. That's the class that I think she taught. She has a flower pot and a stem, so then you can add the flowers. This one I really love. 5-petal flower. They could be stars instead of Christmas stars, instead of thinking them as flowers, right? Anyways, so I got that at the end, and I got her, she signed it for me. But I thought I told her to sign it as "You're my best friend." Oh, it says "To my friend." You're my best friend ever, Vicky. That would have been too much. And then I missed out on a whole bunch of books. So okay, so now listen, you go across on the same day, you're only allowed to bring so much back. You can bring it, okay, that's not true. You can bring as much as you want back, but you have to pay duty on it, okay? And I didn't want to stop for duty, so that was the other thing. And then I also, like I said, I ran out of time. So what I missed out, there was a whole bunch of books I missed out on. I didn't get Martha S.'s new book. I didn't get Kate Judd's new book. Which is like a tea version. She has a really cool, and I think that's the pattern. Danny and I were sitting there thinking about that there was a pattern missing. I think that's the one that's missing. I don't know, but the little Petite Four, is that what it's called? That little treat thing that she had, that the class that she was teaching. Oh, let me just look. I don't know if it had all the class listed here. No, it doesn't. Okay. I think it's like a Petite Four or whatever, but it's a little 3-dimensional, looks like a little dessert, but she actually made it so it's a box that it opens up. It's just super cool. And I couldn't take that class because, oh my God, I knew I wasn't going to be smart enough to do it during the day after driving, and getting up early. And who else? Yeah, there was some really neat stuff. Such cool stuff. At Tatting Corner, Lisa has these cute little shuttles. They're meant to be shuttles, and they're little tiny shuttles with a crochet hook and a tip on them. But when Amy was showing what she bought, I thought that it was just a little mini crochet hook. And I thought, oh, that'd be really cool because it's got a lid on it, a cap on it, so that it doesn't poke through your bags and that stuff, and it doesn't get caught on weird things. So I thought that was really cool. Lisa's husband had made these beautiful wood shuttles. There's just so much stuff. And I was gonna tell you, okay, oh, sorry. I forgot to show you, we got as our little gift, these little tatting bags, which are so cute. I always love the little gifts, and they came in with a little bit of, a bunch of little, oops, I didn't realize the that was in there. With a couple different tatty things that you'll need over the weekend. Yeah, the other thing I did want to show you is that, okay, this is not full because this is one of the ones I've taken stuff out of this, but if you are somebody who's not good at color combinations or you're overwhelmed by the thread, I highly recommend getting these things, which is, it's a collection of 5 threads together as a set so that you don't have to think too hard when you're putting the colors together, because you can always see what they look like. And Lisa had a bunch of those. Now, most of them were gone by the time I got there, but she brought them in, and there was a really neat, like a browns that I really kind of was tempted to get. But like I said, there's only so much. And I'd already done an order from her. So I'm waiting sometime in the next week or two through snail mail. I should be getting tatting supplies from Tatting Corner. So I didn't want to, but I didn't want to worry about bringing stuff back across the border that way. What else did I get? So I showed you these and my 2 books. I missed out on a bunch of books because, like I said, and then did I tell you that Martha S. was there, and she was kind enough to bring me a replacement set of the books I missed or that I lost during the fire. So all of my tatting books were in the house, and they were all together. Yeah. So those were lost. So Martha was kind enough to replace that for me. And I've got I just didn't get a chance. I meant to buy the newest book. I have to tell you, you'll never go wrong with Martha S. What other ones didn't I get? There is a whole bunch of things I wish I'd been able to buy and purchase and everything, but I was more interested in just hanging out with people and talking to them and tatting with them. Okay, talking. We didn't do a lot. I didn't do a lot of tatting. I did do tatting, but I did do some tatting in Ruth Perry's class. It was a long class, so I was able to sit down and come back and forth. Now, you may wonder, why do you go to these things? Oh, next year's the 25th anniversary. Why do you go to these things? You go to these things so you can see what other tatters are doing. You can get the books, and you can actually sit down with somebody who does the same craft as you, so you don't feel crazy, which is also what was so wonderful about yesterday. Oh, okay, so let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to show you it's already 28 minutes, and I like to keep them short because they're easier to upload when they're short. But I did want to show you I did finally gird my loins, did the math, finished out the 1 round for the, I did the math to make sure I had enough, and I measured how much thread I had so that I would know that I could finish this 1 round on the rental. I think this is 2017. And so I had lots, and it worked out fine. It turned out totally fine. And I started this next round in hyacinth, but the last couple rounds on this is like a flower shape, right? It comes out. Well, I ended up buying 2 more skeins of Arctic Sky, not realizing that I'd already had 2 skeins of Arctic Sky, because again, I didn't remember that. I remembered most of the ones that were repeats, but I didn't get all of them. And so what I'm gonna do is I have 4 skeins. Well, that's more than enough thread to finish, I hope, to finish out the worst that happens is I do the last round in a contrasting color, but to do those last couple rounds. So when I am done this round, then I'm gonna go to and just change over to Arctic Sky, and I think that'll be beautiful because it's a variation as well. So this one will turn out to be blues and purples. That's what I'm gonna do. And then the other thing about the when I was picking through the threads, Carrie's threads, one is I did actually get a lot, but two is, and with the dollar exchange, it adds up, but so worth it. And remember, 6 years. So in all honesty, for 6 years of not being able to replace my tatting by thread, I've been incredibly virtuous. Because had I been going to the Finger Lake Tatting Guild for the last 6 years, it's not 6 years, 2019 was the last time I was there, so let's say 5 years. You know, so I'm actually, you know, I've been very virtuous. That's all I'm saying. Okay, sorry. And okay, sorry. With my Renalec 2024, I've gotten into a lot of gray, kind of grayish kind of colors. And so when I was there, I was also picking out ones that kind of can go with a kind of more gray theme. So I think that the theme for this year's 2024 is going to be kind of like a dark, cloudy kind of thing. And like I said, Carrie has a bunch of colors that have the grays and the different colors. And what I like about that is you get these grays and then there's different pops of colors. So I think that'll turn out really good. You know, the thing is that I don't know, like I love going to the Finger Lakes Tatting Seminar. It's my favorite. And it's part of it's because we're all together, and it's just fun and it's relaxed and everything, and you can come and go as you want. And I just really enjoy the atmosphere. The food's, you know, you can eat what you want. The food's out there. They lay it out there. There's lots of food, and you can get food anytime. And I don't know. What's I gonna say to you? Like, I don't know. I think it's worth it. And I'm super excited because next year is going to be the 25th. I'm just stretching. I'm trying to think. I don't know if did I miss the 20th? I don't think I missed the 20th. I think the 20th was the last, no, I didn't miss the 20th. I did, because, yes. Anyways, all right, sorry. So what I'm hoping is that next year that I will be able to go, if, you know, for the whole weekend. But if not the whole weekend, then what I'm going to try to do is get there Saturday night. I don't know. See, it's tricky because I have my dogs. So, and my dogs are old and they're cranky. I mean, they're old for dogs, you know, and they've got health issues. Come here. And all that stuff. So we'll just figure that out. But I had a great time. It was totally worth it. I hope this makes sense. And if I get a chance, I'll show you my new stash of threads. Okay? All right. I'm going to sign off and wish you happy tatting.